Boys and girls, welcome to BenchART. I'm for Classic and welcome to Necromunda Higher Again, a game developed by Stray on Studio, and it is using Unreal Engine 4. So I decided to take the test on the GT 740M and the GT 920M, and I've started with 720p both settings and 50% of resolution scaling, which is pretty low. And this is the results that I had. So I got an average of 50 frames per second, but unfortunately this game does stutter from time to time, causing some spikes to frame rates like 20 frames per second. But overall it was only 2% of the time which the game was lower than 30 frames per second, so it is pretty stable if you ask me, so it's fine. So looking to the requirements, these guys ask for a GTX 560 Ti, also 8 gigs of RAM and an Intel i5 from the 3000 generation, but the K CPU, alright? So it's the unlocked CPU, it's a powerhouse. So comparing to this CPU, that's nothing. So I've decided to run at DX 11. This game supports DirectX 12, and by default it will run at DirectX 12. But despite DirectX 12 kind of alleviates a little bit the CPU, not entirely on this GPU though. It doesn't work well with old Nvidia graphic cards, and so I do recommend you to go DirectX 11 instead of 12 for this game. Although I had suffered a little bit with this recording, so if you check the temperatures, you will see that during this recording, for many occasions, both the CPU and GPU reached 90 degrees and 91. There was a little bit of thermal throttling on the CPU, but I can assure you that those results that I did show you before, those were without recording and without thermal throttling. It was the recording, the act of recording, that did cause the CPU to overheat. So it was too much to handle. So it was the game, which is already demanding, and then the recording above of it, doing the recording, causes a lot of thermal issues with the game. Also, where I live in Portugal, it's very hot at the moment. It's going to be even more hotter though, but it's very hot at the moment. The house was very hot, so I'm sorry for that. So on the recording you will see worse performance than what you will get, in fact. So what can I say? There is a performance issue with this game so far, in my opinion. That is some stuttering that does happen when traversing from one point to another. This is normal. This is something that does happen mostly in Unreal Engine games. So it's something that you will see in the video, and even without recording you will notice that to some extent, probably less. But there is another issue of centering with the game, which is every time a new enemy spawns, even on the moments where you don't saw them, so behind a wall, behind a door, it doesn't matter. Every time an enemy spawns on the map, even if you don't see him, it's going to stutter. So it's going to cause 1 or 2 stutter per enemy, and you will notice that. This is a non-issue though, so the developers are already aware of this issue and they are working on a fix, according to some of the Steam forums and comments that the developers did provide there. And well, that's pretty much about it. So, well, unfortunately the low settings of this game, it is the kind of low settings that looks like a compatible mode. I'm saying this because all the shadows and the lightning effects and volumetrics just disappears when you are playing with shadows on low. You can raise the shadows to medium if you want, but the frame rate will be, well, you guessed it, very bad. So that's the only way you can enjoy this game on the GT 740M or the GT 920M. It will look weird as this moment in here where the light suddenly appears when the door is opening. It's a completely different visuals when you are using, for example, shadows on medium. So you will be losing a lot of effects while playing the game like this. Probably it isn't really the correct way to play this game, because I can assure you that this game looks absolutely great, but not with these low settings that you are seeing in here, which is disappointing. But apart from that, if you only care about playing the game, the good news is that the game runs pretty good aside from those moments that I did told you. I think that's all that I can talk about the performance. In case you have any doubt about it, just leave on the comment section of the video. Now let's talk a little bit about the game for you to understand what you are missing. Necromunda hired gun. It feels that this game really took a lot of inspiration of Doom and Doom Eternal, especially because core gameplay, it is very fast. You can do tons of stuff like sliding around, double jumping, and there is also a grappling hook, which I didn't add at the time of this video. But yeah, this game inspires tons of movement, and pretty much shoot on sight enemies, which is very fun. Although it's not as refined as Doom, it will feel more clunky. And this game have 3 glory kills. For example, on Doom, when you want to perform a glory kill, you have to hit the enemy 1 or 2 times, and then you are able to perform a glory kill. Not on this game. On this game, you just need to go close to the enemy and perform a glory kill. And just like Doom, you get a small boost in HP and also shield, and you also get some items that might be, yeah, well, good for you, you know. Overall, most of the people are really satisfied with the game. The only downside of people that have been saying, and I do agree, the dialogues are really bad. They don't offer anything great. They are just a bad part of the game. And also the story. The story is pretty bad. So regarding this game, what I really think it is really awesome, it is pretty much a core gameplay, despite it is a little bit clanky. It feels awesome, especially from a small studio like this one. And honestly, I don't like to be this kind of guy, but the graphics are simply amazing. I mean, Warhammer visuals in here. I'm not really a fan of Warhammer, but I really think that these guys really nailed that. The visuals, the art style, it's simply amazing. All the atmosphere that these guys pulled it with Unreal Engine 4. And overall, again, the game, it feels very well optimized. It is not as well optimized as Doom Eternal or Doom, but still it is enough optimized, aside from these stutters that these guys already knew about it. So most of the people have a little bit of mixed feelings about the game. I'm no reviewer, and I didn't play it enough about this game to say kind of what is bad or what is wrong, but my initial thoughts about the game, it is really, damn, the graphics of this game are amazing, and damn, the gameplay, it's exactly like Doom, but a little bit clunky. There is another area on this game where you can talk with multiple different NPCs, and you can evolve some of the parts of your own characters. The game seems to kind of encourages you to loot stuff, and there are some side missions which they are basically a target inside levels that you played before. But honestly, I really think you should visit a review if you are a good reviewer, if you are really interested into this game. But overall, my thoughts on the first 1-2 hours of gameplay is exactly this. Alright, so guys, I think I've told everything I wanted about Necromunda hired gun. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the gameplay, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Dozens of them! What the hell? Heavily armed too! I'm gonna hold them here until...
Fatal! Fatal! Where are you? Leto! What the hell's going on?
I heard. I'm on my way.
Right to the throne, son! handle a few, Escher. What's going on, Leto?
It's not! How many of you are there? Go to hell! I'm in it.
Damn! Leto! Leto! Should have done this alone. Knew it. Always work alone.
Let the brute have a little fun.